Hey everybody, it's Adam from Just a Spoonful of Sniders. Today I'm going to be talking about the Disney Pixar bracket, the movie bracket that has been online. I'm going to go through all the movies, let you know which one I pick and which one is my favorite. So enjoy. Alright, so with these movies, it starts with, I think the oldest movie is The Little Mermaid, which was from 1989. So all the classic movies like Sleeping Beauty, Cinderella, Robin Hood, all those are not on this list. And if they were, movie that won would probably not win. The movie that won is actually in my top 3 favorite movies, animated movies for Disney, but it is not number 1. It's actually probably number 3. I'll do a video later on top 3 animated movies, but I'll go ahead and go on with this list. Alright, so the first one is Tarzan vs. Lion King. Everybody knows The Lion King, one of the best Disney movies of all time. Came out in 1994, and I'm going to let you also know on IMDb what all the ratings were. So on this, got an 8.5, one of the highest rated, the highest rated Disney movie on IMDb, other than one other movie, which is on this list, and I'll let you know a little bit later. But it got an 8.5. Everybody knows the opening scene to this movie. But yeah, and then also I feel like Tarzan came out in 1999, got a 7.2, one of the best Disney albums of all time with Phil Collins singing them. I think Tarzan got kind of screwed going against Lion King in the first round. But I'm going to have to go with Lion King on this one. Tarzan was against any other movie, it would probably win. But Lion King, you can't really beat that. Next up, we got Princess and the Frog and Lilo and Stitch. Once again, 2 great movies. I'm going to read off my notes real quick. Princess and the Frog came out in 2009. IMDb gave it a 7.1. I enjoyed this movie. I thought it was awesome. It has a great soundtrack from New Orleans. It's pretty much about a girl who wants to have run her own business. She kisses a frog. She turns into a frog. Princess and the Frog. Pretty obvious. If you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend to see it. Lilo and Stitch came out in 2002 and actually got a better rating of 7.2. To me, Stitch is one of my favorite characters, and Lilo and Stitch is a great movie. But it just has a terrible ride in Magic Kingdom. Luckily, they shut it down. I don't know if it's for good now, but they did shut down the Stitch ride because it's such a great character and gets such a horrible ride for such a good character. He deserved a little bit better than that. But for this one, I'm actually have to go with Princess and the Frog just because of the soundtrack. Both movies are good though. So next we got Tangled against Big Hero 6. Tangled came out in 2010. These actually both tied, with both got a 7.8. Tangled, one of my favorite songs. Now I See the Light. I don't actually know the name of it, but has Zachary Levi in it, which is from the TV show Chuck, and you should go see Chuck because it is one of the best shows. But anyway, this Tangled. Big Hero 6 came out in 2014. Also got 7.8. Baymax was an awesome character. But really, after the first time I watched it, it was kind of boring the second time. So with this one, I'm going to have to go with Tangled. Alright, sorry I had to take my dog out. But anyway, so Tangled was that one. Next one up is Frozen and Moana. Once again, they're pretty good movies. Frozen came out in 2013, got a 7.5 rating. When I first watched it, it was an awesome movie. And it was also the first animated Disney movie to get over $1 billion at the box office. But when we went to Disney, it was way overdone. Everywhere you went, Frozen, Frozen, Frozen. It was everywhere. Everywhere. So that kind of made me not like it as much. And this is going against Moana, which got a 7.6. Once again, good soundtrack, 7.6. Great soundtrack in this movie. The Rock was in it. Love The Rock. All the songs were awesome. Didn't really like it the first time I watched it. It took me 2 times to watch it to really like it. This one got a 7.6, and what was awesome is the girl who acted Moana was only 16 years old when she did it, and her voice was awesome. So for Frozen and Moana, I am going with Moana on this one. Next is Aladdin vs. Hercules. This is one of those that's kind of like a toss-up. I really had to think hard about this one. Aladdin came out in 1992 with the 8.0 on IMDb, and Hercules was out in 1997 and got a 7.3. The one reason I like Aladdin is because Robin Williams did awesome with the genie. It is so fun to hear all the voices and things he kind of imitates when he's doing the genie, and that really makes it enjoyable to watch. Hercules, one of my favorite songs. I Can Go the Distance. Hades is one of the best villains, I believe. It's my wife's favorite villain, Disney villain. So with this one though, I'm going to have to kind of go with the people and go with Aladdin on this one. Once again, it's kind of a toss-up, but I'm going to go with Aladdin. Next up, we got Little Mermaid versus Pocahontas. Pocahontas is in the same boat as Tarzan. I felt that it kind of got messed up for going against such a classic in the first round. Also, it got the lowest rating on a Disney movie on this thing. We got a 6.7, Pocahontas did. I love the movie. I think it's awesome. It's an underrated movie. But Little Mermaid out in 89 got a 7.6, and you can't beat the Little Mermaid, so I'm going to go with the Little Mermaid on this one. Next is Mulan vs. Zootopia. Everybody knows Mulan. Came out in 1998, got a 7.6 rating. Great movie, good songs. Zootopia out in 2016 got an 8.0, and it was good, but not as good as Mulan to me. So I'm going to have to go with Mulan on this one over Zootopia. Next is Beauty and the Beast versus Nightmare Before Christmas. Nightmare Before Christmas came out in 1993, got an 8.0. I never actually made it through the end of this movie. I tried to watch it a couple times, but it was kind of boring to me, so I didn't watch it all. And then Beauty and the Beast out in 1991 got an 8.0. One of the best soundtrack, classic Disney movies of all time. But Paige O'Hara is Belle, and we actually, last time we went to Epcot, we saw Paige O'Hara talking at the Festival of Arts, and that was awesome. So with this one, I'm going to go with Beauty and the Beast. To me, this was an easy one. Alright, so next, going over to the other side for all the Pixar movies. First up, Up and Brave. Easy one for me. Up came out in 2009, got an 8.3. First 15 minutes of this movie is probably the best first 15 minutes of any Disney movie ever. If you didn't cry, you don't have a soul. But great movie. Brave out in 2012. This is actually the one of the first movies that me and my wife saw together when we first started dating. But that doesn't help the fact that it was boring, and got a 7.1, so easily I'll go with Up on this one. Next, Toy Story vs. Toy Story 2. Two great movies. I feel like a lot of y'all might say Toy Story 2 is better. First one came out in 1995 and got a 8.3 rating. Second one came out in 1999, got a 7.9. Both of those super good movies. But for nostalgia reasons, I'm going to go with the first Toy Story over Toy Story 2 for the first round. Next up, Coco vs. Cars 3. I don't know why they made a Cars 3. They didn't really need it. It was better than I expected, but I didn't think they really needed another Cars, especially after Cars 2 sucked so bad. Coco got an 8, or came out last year, 2017, 8.5. So this is the movie that tied The Lion King. I got an 8.5. I had no expectations going on this movie last year when I saw it. I thought it was going to be so stupid. Turned out it was actually one of my favorite Pixar movies. It's a great movie. I definitely recommend to go see it. So I go Coco over Cars 3. Next, Toy Story 3 over The Good Dinosaur. Toy Story 3 came out in 2010. Got an 8.3 rating. So it actually tied the first one. Usually when there's trilogies and stuff, first one, the rating's up here, second one, the third one. But this one, the third one, actually tied the first one with the 8.3. Good Dinosaur came out in 2015 and only got a 6.7 rating. So this is the lowest rated Pixar movie on this list, and it's tied with Pocahontas. Good Dinosaur was alright, the visuals were good, but To me, my wife liked it, but I thought it was a little boring. So this one, obvious choice, I'm going Toy Story 3. So next is Ratatouille versus A Bug's Life. Both, honestly, once again, good movies. 2007, Ratatouille came out, got an 8.0. Good movie, as original. It was, I mean, I watch it every time I see it on TV, I watch it. So nothing bad against this movie. Bug's Life 2, 1998. It actually had a 7.2 rating. It was one of my childhood favorites. So with this one, I'm gonna have to actually go Bug's Life over Ratatouille. This is a toss-up, but I mean it's a close one. But I'm just gonna have to go with Bug's Life. Next, Finding Nemo versus Inside Out. Nemo came out 2003. I was like in 3rd grade. Got an 8.1. Awesome movie. Ellen was awesome. The whole movie is just awesome. Inside Out came out in 2015. Got an 8.2. So it actually got better grade than Finding Nemo. It's a great movie. Also super original. I enjoy this movie every time someone says they want to watch it. I'll watch it with them. But for a nostalgic reason with this one too, I'm going to go with Finding Nemo. Both of them great movies though. Next, Monsters Inc. vs. Cars. Monsters Inc. came out in 2001. This is one of the first movies I actually remember going to go watch in theaters. I thought it was hilarious. It got an 8.1 rating. Cars came out 5 years later in 2006, got a 7.1. And it was a good movie. I enjoyed it, but Monsters Inc. wins out in this one. Next, Incredibles vs. WALL-E. Incredibles came out 2004 with a 8.0. WALL-E 2008 with the 8.4. Both of them, once again, good movies. Kind of had to think about it, but I'm going to go with the Incredibles on this one. And also, since Incredibles 2 is coming out, super excited to go see it. Alright, so that is the first round. Now for the second round, we're going to go back over to the Disney side, upper left corner. So with the upper left, sorry, I'm looking at my computer so I can keep up. We got Lion King versus Princess and the Frog. Lion King. Alright, that was pretty easy. Next, Tangled versus Moana. Kind of had to think about this one, but what it boils down to is with the songs I like the most. While Tangled has one of my favorite songs, all the other songs I can kind of do without those. So, and Moana has like 4 or 5 that I can listen to over and over. So Tangled versus Moana, I have to go Moana. Next is The Little Mermaid versus Aladdin. This one is actually kind of easier for me. Little Mermaid is one of my favorite soundtracks, and so Little Mermaid to me is better than Aladdin. Next, Mulan versus Beauty and the Beast. Great movie, but Beauty and the Beast is a classic, and it's very hard to beat Beauty and the Beast, so I'm going to go Beauty and the Beast over Mulan. Next, Up versus Toy Story 1. Once again, both great movies, but I'm going to have to go with Toy Story over Up on this one. Next is Coco versus Toy Story 3. While Coco was a big surprise for me, Toy Story 3 was... Toy Story was just a childhood favorite. Toy Story 3, like the ending of Toy Story 3 was one of my favorite endings for a Toy Story or any Disney movie. So Toy Story 3 for me is over Coco. Nothing against Coco. Coco, once again, awesome. Recommend to go see it. Next is Bug's Life versus Finding Nemo. Gotta go with Finding Nemo on this one. It was a lot better than Bug's Life. Even though Bug's Life was one of my top childhood movies, Finding Nemo was even better. So I'm going with that one. Next, what is it? Monsters Inc. versus Incredibles. For me, once again, it wasn't that hard of a choice. I chose Monsters Inc. on this one. Incredibles, Monsters Inc. both great movies. But I'm gonna have to go with Monsters Inc. because I just remember watching that in theaters when I was younger, thinking it was hilarious. It's still hilarious today. So yeah, that is my Elite 8. Now I'm going to go and see what is in my Final 4. So, back over to the left side at Disney. Lion King versus Moana. Moana did good to get this far, but it is not going to beat The Lion King. No way it can beat The Lion King. Lion King's such a classic. Little Mermaid versus Beauty and the Beast. Both of these it was hard for me to choose. Both of these at one point were my favorite movie, especially when I first got into Disney. When I first started dating my now wife, she got me into Disney. Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast were both of my favorite. But I'm going to have to go with Beauty and the Beast on this one, even though Little Mermaid is such a classic. So on Disney, the final two are Beauty and the Beast and Lion King. Pixar, we got Toy Story 1 versus Toy Story 3. Toy Story 1, the first one always beats all the rest. So I'm going to have to go with Toy Story 1 on this one. Toy Story 3, great movie, but Toy Story 1 beats it. Now, Finding Nemo versus Monsters, Inc. Me and my wife kind of disagreed on this one. She thought Finding Nemo should be over Monsters, Inc. But for me, I chose Monsters, Inc. Really, there's not a big reason for that. It's just because I thought Monsters, Inc. I remembered it a little bit better as a kid than I did Finding Nemo. And if I had to choose now to watch one or the other, I'd probably choose Monsters, Inc. to watch. So yeah, that's it. So my final four: Lion King, Beauty and the Beast, Toy Story 1, Monsters, Inc. Let me know if your final four are the same or if they're totally different. Let me know why you're wrong. But anyway, let me go ahead and go over these. Lion King versus Beauty and the Beast. One of the toughest decisions. This is actually tougher for me to choose than the final. I'm going to have to go Lion King on this one. Just because it's the Lion King. It's the king of Disney. I don't know what else to say about that. Beauty and the Beast, great classic music. Lion King, the opening of Lion King is just such a classic. Everybody knows the open. You can say whatever you want to say, and people will know what you're saying. Just go, just make that whatever you want to do, and people will know exactly what you're trying to do. So Lion King is in the final from the Disney side. Over at the Pixar side, Toy Story 1 versus Monsters, Inc. Gotta go with Toy Story 1. It came out the year after I was born. I was born in 1994. Came out the year after. Great movie. Such nostalgic. I actually do like the soundtrack on this one. It was awesome. So, final, Lion King versus Toy Story. Which one will I pick? Which one will you pick? Which one do you think is better? Do you think Toy Story or Lion King is better? Or do you think the two that I have in the finals are just totally wrong? But for my number one is, drum roll, The Lion King. Lion King is the number one Disney movie on this bracket. It is hard to beat The Lion King. I watched it like a month ago, and I was like, yeah, I'll just watch it again. It probably won't be as good as the last time I watched it, which was 5-6 years ago. I don't know. But every time I watch The Lion King, it is so good. It always keeps my interest watching it. I always sing along with the songs. It's just so good, it is hard to beat. So that is my number one, Lion King. Once again, like I said, all these movies are from like 1998, 99, 1989 and above, starting with Little Mermaid. And Lion King would actually be my number 3 on top 3 animated Disney movies of all time, which I'm actually going to drop next week. Next week will be my top 3 animated movies. Please subscribe, hit the notification for any of my videos coming up. If you want to hear anything top 3 resort or anything, please let me know in the comments. There's actually one other stat that I wanted you to know. I averaged all the scores for Disney and Pixar, and Pixar actually rated higher. The average for Disney was a 7.6, and the average Pixar was a 7.8. And if you overall all of them, 7.7 obviously. But that rating is actually super good for average. Nothing got below a 6.7, and even though 6.7 is not the best rating, it's not the worst. And if a movie got a 7.8, 7.5 and above for me is like a rewatchable movie. So for an average, that is awesome. So thanks for watching today. Please hit subscribe, hit the notification button. For any videos that you would like to see, leave it in the comments what you'd like to watch. Thanks for watching.